2022 is on the horizon here. We have Blue Eyes Dark Magician support, but what will be the viable rogue decks that you can pick up, maybe not quite win with, but have a good time with? That's what we're here to answer today. You guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. Rogue decks for 2022. The first one I want to talk about here is Dino Roofie, and a lot of you guys might not have had a lot of exposure to Dino Roofie yet, but this is basically ass backwards fusion dinosaur the deck, and you're like, huh? Imagine you are always riding the constant line of death in anime to get stronger, and your power trope is watching your life point meter go beep 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 the entire time. That's what it's like to be a Dino Roofie, a duelist. You cut your life points in half over and over again, and then you die to Hinatama or Sparks. I feel like that's the best Dino Roofie experience that I can really give you guys. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because they have the ability to basically fuse into a 4000 beat stick that with skill drain becomes 4k. They have some of the best cool trap dumping engines in the game. They have a spell and trap Omni Negate, spell and trap counter trap negation that they have access to at any point in time. And I mean, hey, for an early support line for a deck, it's pretty cool. All right, this deck has a lot more to be desired for it, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing heading into the next year, because hopefully as we get into, more sets, Dimension Force processes more, we start to see some power-ups for this deck, because I really love the potential behind Dino Roofie. Fusion dinos go burr. All right, my P-Braid Dinosaur brain just... I've seen 1 to 2 concepts come up in the OCG that looked a lot of fun for control variants, and I mean, there's nothing stopping you playing this with traditional dinosaur. I mean, hey man, you want to go ahead and play your Dino Waifus with Ultimate Conductor for the big Chad Dino plays? Go for it. You can do that. But I feel like just more of a trap control build is what you're going to be looking at here with Dino Roofie, and that is not a bad thing at all. Next up here is going to be Agents. Now, we're pretty much projected to get Agent support here with the Ghost from the Past too. Yeah, Second Haunting, by the way. Such a stupid name. I can't believe they named it that. But you've probably seen some Agent videos on this channel at this point, and you're like, okay, this looks pretty cool. So you get the Magister Hyperion to banish from the opponent's graveyard. Goodbye, Mr. DP. Alright, hopefully you get banned soon so we don't have to deal with this. You get access to, Hulky Fibrax plays are absurd in this deck. From everything I've seen, you get some really cool things that you can do for climbing up some of the ladders. I mean, hey man, the fact that instant fusion with Magister turns into the big Master Hyperion Synchro monster, and then you can literally dump anything from the extra deck or the main deck to the graveyard to have it literally acquire the effect, as long as it mentions what, the Ancient Sanctuary in the Sky or some specific interaction with that. You can technically drop Venus and do the whole Shine Ball combo, but most of the people at this point in time that I've seen have played the deck just straight cut the agent of making Shine Balls card. So most people are just like, it's not worth it anymore. I mean, cutting bricks out of the deck for more consistent enablers is good. It was definitely one step in the right direction to taking the older agent deck and definitely buffing it up to Omega Chad 2022 standards, ladies and gentlemen. So going forward here, it's a rogue option. Is it going to be tier 1? No, and I don't think that that's a bad thing, ladies and gentlemen. I think that we'll have to wait and see kind of how things will go from this point on, but honestly, Agents are a very fun deck. I've seen most of the people that have played them have had fun. It's just, even like the OCG, they've kind of taken a back seat, and because, the Omega Chad branded structure deck just did everything better than Agents ever could have done. Agents just felt very fillery there. Next up here is DDD. Now, with the release of Battle of Chaos here, DDD gets some pretty interesting tools to kind of broaden their arsenal of things, and amongst those arsenals is basically the ability to just steal an opponent's card, name it DDD, and overlay the big guy on top of it. And you're like, oh, well, that's cool. They basically get the ability, Okay, so they get one card that just turns everything in the deck searchable. They actually make use of their scales now, which is, I mean, they could make use of their scales in the past, but the scales feel a lot better at this point in time, as if they're actually part of the strategy. It's kind of one of the old things that kind of stunk about the former DDD was Gilgamesh was a good card. It added a lot to the deck as a whole, but you know, you needed more. And the DDD power-ups gave them more. And interactions that just free overlays on top of your DDD cards is a cool concept in theory here, but we didn't really fix the problems. I think we just decided we wanted to give them a new gimmick, and that was about it at this point, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for DDD, but it didn't strengthen the deck in any regard, and that's actually really disappointing because the deck seems good on paper, seems really, really awesome, but unfortunately doesn't quite live up to that standard benchmark that Modern Era Yu-Gi-Oh! Does. Yeah, you make a board, you do your thing, but you still die to the same old tropes that we've seen in Modern Era Yu-Gi-Oh! And you have about 3,000 more choke points than the average Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. If anything happens to that core normal summon and you attempting to start combo, you don't have the crazy extenders that most Modern Era Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks do to kind of set up that recovery and reproduce that board. One choke point, it's over for you. And unfortunately, I want this deck to be a lot better, but I think we'll be sitting at tier 2. The combo lines are insane, by the way. Next up here is Witchcrafter. Now, I'm not saying that these decks are in any particular order, by the way, here. But Witchcrafter and Mayakashi get some interesting power-ups. Unfortunately, in the OCG, we have seen hardly any Mayakashi results versus I'm seeing more Witchcrafter potential list than anything here. Now, Witchcrafter didn't get a lot, alright? They got basically a cool fusion monster that gives you the ability to kind of, I want to say, patch a couple of the issues that the deck had, but you also only have an in-house polymerization, really, because Confusion should have give you the ability to like fuse from the deck or something like that, and you would have seen Witchcrafter massively improve. But the problem here is it's still Witchcrafter at the end of the day. You still need a couple of turns to really produce the big oomph that your deck wants to have, those big sparky plays to kind of start fueling up combo lines. The other thing here is once it goes, it goes. It's not really changed in that regard. But as a rogue contender, it won't be meta at all. I definitely think between the Mayakashi support and this, that I think Witchcrafter was by far the worst, but it's seeing more results because the base structure that was already built there for Witchcrafter is a lot more consistent than anything Mayakashi can ever actually produce. Though a floodgate trap card being built in to Mayakashi might seem good, it's just, I think Witchcrafter ended up winning by a mile here. So Witchcrafter definitely will be like 2.5, but it'll be in the rogue category because as soon as we pick up those cards, a lot of players will be excited to mess around with them and just have a good time with them. Now, the next one here, and the final one for this video, is going to be Blue Eyes. Now, you're probably like, well, why are you not mentioning Dark Magician, Robbie? I honestly think Blue Eyes got the better end of the support this time. Granted, the new fusion monster, or whatever, the big support guy for Dark Magician, looks very good on paper. Ultimate Fusion is a heck of a card. Interruptions on the opponent's turn are what we need with Modern Era Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, Robbie, Dark Magician got this amazing... Yeah, they did get the ability to search for Illusion Magician... Magician Souls. Alright, that's good. That's good. Now it's a rogue engine in every deck for draw power. Check. But in terms of deck power, Blue Eyes definitely won the race this time through. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think Blue Eyes actually has a chance as a rogue competitor just because of Ultimate Fusion for the interruptions on the opponent's turn. Hey man, when you can literally just check opponent's monsters off of the field, that's free real estate. Alright, so I'm totally down with those rogue options for Blue Eyes just feeling all that better because one spell card does pretty much what you wanted it to do. Not to say that the deck didn't get other cool power-ups, it's just that's what's going to be the real banger for next year, ladies and gentlemen. So, You guys agree, you disagree with this? That's fine. I'd love to read the comments down below. I always love seeing what people are thinking, of course. And, 2022 is going to be a very interesting year, all things considered. And I definitely look forward to seeing what you guys have to say down below. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on the day. And, guys, don't forget to make sure you smash the crap and that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. Peace out, guys. Have a good one. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.